Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. I've seen that story about Terrell Owens, and only part of the video. I want to start by giving a shout out to that lady that came out and told the cops that he was not in fact speeding through. She saw it from the garage. And this is after the Karen broke her tears out. You know, gentlemen, I'm telling you something about this now. And I'm not telling you this because I'm trying to win favor with the sisters. Because they need to fuck the shuck up about this. See, the sisters want you to stick with the sisters. And when they are imagining with whom they want you to stick, it's got to be someone big, nasty, filthy, funky, stank attitude, neck rolling, finger snapping stereotype. That's what they mean. When I tell you who to avoid, I'm only talking about certain groups of women whose people don't look at us as equals. And they're willing to break out the tears and everything else. Understand this. I've been saying leave Karen, Becky, and Amber alone. I'm telling you too, leave the Pakistani woman alone. Leave that woman from India alone. The women from Bangladesh are generally okay, believe it or not. And the men from Bangladesh actually tend to be the ones that don't have an anti-black attitude. People, see, I've used my appearance and learned who does and who does not have it in for us. When I tell you about another group's attitude towards us, I know most of what I'm talking about. If a woman's from Pakistan and she gets with you, she has to justify that. If she's from Northern India and she gets with you, she has to justify that socially. If she's from Southern India, it's different. If she's from Bangladesh, it's different. She doesn't necessarily have to justify that to her people. If a woman's from Southeast Asia, she doesn't have to justify that she got with a shine. Whether it's paying for play or marriage. And I'm only advocating one, but she doesn't have to justify her choice to someone else. When she comes from certain areas like Iran, Afghanistan, Northern India, Pakistan, she has to justify that. When I tell you leave the Arab woman alone and she's not black, for the most part. A lot of them aren't racist. They're still trained that it's okay to use racist language, like calling us slaves. There are women that only want black men, but they call us slaves. So they don't even tell their friends, I want a black man. They say, I want a slave. Now, how's that okay? So I tell you these things for your own good, for your own benefit. You need to stop trying with some groups of women. Don't even make the effort. Let them come to you and you set the terms. And if you find yourself with one of these women from one of these groups I've told you that you need to really be leery of, then you need to test them. One, you say to them that you lost a job, and that 2 hours later you were able to get it back with a pay cut, or 2 days later, whatever's believable to her. But your pay is now about the average anybody would make, and you'll see. Because see, when you get with some of these women that do have these or their people have these biases, you still may have to make more money than an average Wyatt to get her, and she may not be aware of that. So when you test her, you're not only finding out for yourself, you're showing her to herself. I've already told you to stay away from Karen, Becky, and Amber. And I've pretty much said, look, yeah, give the Afro-Latina a chance. Give the sister from the continent a chance outside of urban South Africa, Nairobi, and Lagos. I'm not talking about the North. Because I would tell you, when it comes to a Northerner, you got to put them to the test. Like you would any non-black Arab. And they got black blood in them. You still got to put them to the test. You don't just test them by saying that you lost a job and you come back when it's believable and say you got it back, but at a pay cut. You also have to say that that job requires you to transfer to and then fill in a majority black nation. You tell them, yeah, the salary I make will be average, but I got the position is over here. You willing to go with me? That means they got to be ready to move to this black nation with you. Now, if she's willing to do that, that means that she's going to be married to a brother making an average salary and living around nothing but black folk. Her people going to be miles away. Then okay, she is into you. She says, no, you ain't even got to tell her it was a test she failed. Just say, I understand. And you part ways peacefully. And that's how you do it. And why do I say this? Because, well, you already know. You understand that in the end, you're not going to be treated equally by these ladies. Should you be? Yeah. Are there individuals that would? Yes. By the same token, you still must understand that while we are leaving behind the sisters, because they are treating us worse in many cases, attitude up front, it doesn't mean that everyone else that doesn't roll their neck and snap their fingers is offering you a better deal. That's not the case either. And I don't want you thinking that way for 1 second. Not at all. They could be sitting up here offering you a deal that's a little bit better than Boom Shika and Bon Quisha or Sophista Ratchet Sapphire. But they're still offering less than what they would have offered if you were a Wyatt. Be careful, gentlemen. Because Karen, while she'll use her tears to get you killed, and while Sapphire will call the man on you, don't think for a second that a lot of these other women are not learning from Karen. And don't think that they don't have to justify choosing you to them either, or to their people. It's just the flip side of Sophista Ratchet Sapphire. Just like she has to justify choosing you by telling them what kind of thug you are or what she's using you to get. That can happen amongst others too. It depends on what their background is and how their people are. And that's why you need to know how their people view us and move accordingly. Thanks for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power just because they don't like it in black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.